Breaking news: countless math students are struggling with math problems. Do you find math intimidating? Does it take you a considerably long time to solve a math problem and you still don't know if it's right? Is the only time math makes you happy is when you're finished with it? Is this you? Well, not for long. My name is Nadia and I'm here to show you just how to solve circle problems and ease your worries completely. Hopefully, by the end of this video, you'll be looking like this. Now let's get started. You probably know what this is. That's right, it's a circle. However, now we're going to learn how to graph segments and points in circles. If you didn't know, a circle is the set of all points in a plane that are equidistant from a fixed point called the center of the circle. Now, you're ready for some practice. First, grab the line segment AB with endpoints A, -2, 2, and B, 4, -6. Then, find the length of AB. So, it says to graph the endpoints A, -2 and 2, so we're going to find -2, that's the x-coordinate, to 2, which would be right here, and label that A. Then your next coordinate is B at 4 and -6, so place B right there. Make your circle as accurately as you can, more accurately than me. Yeah. Next, you must find the length of AB. Now by doing this, we're going to need to use a distance formula. This is the distance formula. Distance equals the square root of, and this will all be under the square root of, x2, not x squared, x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, all under the square root. And you're going to need to memorize that now. x2 would be one of your x's. Remember, a equals -2, 2, and b equals 4 to -6. So this would be x, y, and this would be x, y. So you can use this as your second x. Under the square root, it would be 4 minus your x1, that's -2, but because it's negative, the negatives cancel out, minus -2 becomes plus 2 to the power of 2, plus your y2, -6, minus your y1, -2, squared. And then solve. Distance equals 4 plus 2 is 6 squared. -6 minus 2 is -8 squared. Solve further. 6 squared is 36. -8 times -8, or -8 squared, is 64. 36 plus 64 is 100, and remember that this is still under the square root, so that becomes distance equals 10. And that will be your length of AB, or this segment AB. Find the midpoint of AB. The midpoint formula is as follows. x1 plus x2, regardless of the order, divided by 2. That's one coordinate. y1 plus y2 over 2. And these are going to be your coordinates for the midpoint. So your x1, -2 plus x2, 4. -2 plus 4 over 2. your y coordinate, y1 plus y2, 2 minus 6, 2 minus 6 divided by 2. Solve further. Negative 2 plus 4 divided by 2, that would be 2 divided by 2, which will be 1. 2 minus 6 is negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. And that's your midpoint. So now that you know your midpoint is 1, negative 2, you can name that any point. And I'm going to choose P and plot it. So 1, negative 2, that's going to be P. And that's your center, your midpoint. Now, your next step is to find your radius. You already know your distance. Your distance serves as your diameter. That's A to B. That's your distance, so that's 10, because you know that the AB segment is 10. Your radius is the distance from either AP or PB. That means that it's the distance from your center, your midpoint, to one of your endpoints, also known as half of your diameter. So if diameter divided by 2 equals your radius, then 10 being your diameter divided by 2 equals 5, your radius. So meaning you can draw a point, say Q, draw a line from P to Q, that's going to be 5. P to B, that's going to be 5. A to P, that's going to be 5. Let Q with coordinates x, y be any point on the circle P. Use the distance formula to write an equation that uses the fact that PQ is equal to the radius you found above. This is the circle P. That's your center. P is your center. And I'm going to choose a random point to be Q. Let's say 6 and negative 2. That's going to be my Q. So 6, negative 2. That's going to be my Q. So this serves as your radius. And you have to prove that this, your radius, is equal to 5 using the distance formula. So now we know the distance formula is D equals the midpoint AB. So we have A, B, the midpoint of that, or P, is 1, negative 2. So let's plug those in. x2 minus x1, 6 minus 1 squared, plus y2 minus y1, negative 2 plus 2 squared. Solve. 6 minus 1, 5 squared. That's 0 squared, so 0. Root 25 is equal to 5. And that's your radius. So I just proved that PQ is equal to your radius. And now you're going to need to know the standard form of a circle. It's formula x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals radius squared. And you could plug what we just found in for that as well. Don't plug in for x, plug in for h and k. H, k is your center. So this means that the h, 1, negative 2 is your k. So you plug in your p coordinates for h and k rather than for x and y. This would mean x minus 1 squared plus y minus 2 or plus 2 squared equals radius 5 squared. X minus 1 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals 25. And that's your standard form.